All right, welcome back to our Triangle Splash podcast. This week, we brought back a fan favorite special guest, Sherman Lung,
Thanks
monitors
for
music
having
down
me.
there. All right, and without further ado, let's kick it off. First topic of the week, we're going to talk about some more waiver wire pickups. I know that fantasy playoff is starting to come within the next 2-3 weeks for everyone. So let's talk about some waiver wire pickups that will really help and will be really clutch for you in the fantasy playoffs.
Yep, so I'll start with this topic. As Angus had mentioned, fantasy playoffs should start in most leagues in around 2 weeks. So I had this player in mind that I've been monitoring, and hope you guys can, take a look at him. He is currently rostered in 28% on Yahoo Fantasy Sports Leagues, and this player provides a more of a defensive presence. Along with defensive stats, but can also chip in offensively as well. This player has benefited from recent injuries to two rotation players for his team. So this player is from the New Orleans Pelicans, James Johnson. So he is a veteran, 38 years old, but he was traded from the Mavericks to the Pelicans near the deadline for a second round pick and a player, I believe. But since Neil Walker-Alexander and Josh Hart has been out on injuries, he's filled in almost perfectly for the Pelicans in terms of fantasy stat-wise, playing alongside Steven Adams and providing that defensive and veteran presence. I think, with the Pelicans having Zion and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball in the starting lineup as well, he can provide you with a lot of defensive stats, but also chip in offensively. So keep an eye out. If he hasn't been rostered yet in your leagues, give him a look.
Yeah, I've been watching a bit, especially to see like how Pelicans are gonna work their front court. I know Steven Adams, Brandon Ingram, Zion, they've been kind of like in and out. So he actually fits in like pretty interesting. He's not just like one of those, oh, I'm gonna throw in like a big man and just set some screens. Like he actually like, like holds the ball, actually does something with the ball. So like you said, a little jack of all trades, he gets you a little bit of everything. That's a really good pickup. I like it. What do you got,
Good.
Sherman?
This player I have, it's only rostered in 34% in Yahoo Fantasy League, and he's playing on a team that has been blown out a lot lately. And this is from the OKC Thunder, Alexiev Pokusevsky. And ever since they shut down Al Horford, he's been averaging 15 points per game, close to 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And, with OKC's direction where they're going, they're playing the young guys more minutes. And he's definitely getting like more touches and more good looks. And if you ever need a help from, let's say your last like maybe 2-3 guys, he can definitely give you a boost. In my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree with that. He was actually a first round pick, I believe, last year or the year before. And even though he looks like a twig, but he's almost with a 7-foot wingspan and 230 pounds, but has crazy handles for a guy of that size. So he's been much more than a playmaker for the Thunder, shooting the ball well and rebounding as well. So definitely somebody to keep an eye on.
I love it. As a longtime Thunder fan, you can see right here, he kind of actually gives me some Slim Reaper vibes. Another player that was really skinny, almost 7 feet, can shoot the ball really well, Kevin Durant. I mean, even tonight, like he had a crazy game where he dropped 7 3-pointers. That has to be some kind of record for rookies. But the thing with Pokusevsky, actually interesting to contrast with James Johnson, is that you can't expect him to like drop 7 3-pointers every single night. like as a rookie, you're gonna have to expect some off nights where they just don't do so well. But like Sherman said, OKC's also been kind of getting blown out, so that's another risk that you have to be careful of.
And also, he's going to get a lot of opportunities on a rebuilding Thunder team. So that's another plus, getting a lot more minutes and touches and opportunities. So look out for him next year too, not just this year.
All right. I got another player that is benefiting from kind of like, a move, a little change in scenery. So going from the Miami Heat to the Houston Rockets. This player right now is rostered in 60% of the league. So I think a lot of people have been catching on. But Kelly Olynyk. So ever since he's been traded, he's playing like a pretty steady around 28 minutes a game, 18.7 points, 5.2 rebounds. And if you look at this numbers right now, he's actually doing way better here in Houston than he was in Miami. So maybe the change of scenery, maybe the change of personnel is really benefiting Kelly Olynyk. And maybe it's just because of how the front court works. Like with Christian Wood in the front court, he doesn't demand the ball as much as Bam did. So it looks like Kelly Olynyk is fitting really well in this new change of scenery. So if you don't have him, you should definitely pick him up.
Yeah, with the Rockets front court being so thin with only Christian Wood, he hasn't been kind of too healthy lately or this year, and DeMarcus Cousins being waived and released. Basically, Houston doesn't have much options in the front court, so he's getting tons of opportunity now compared to when he was with the Heat. So great point there, Angus.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other waiver wire options, especially players that are maybe rostered in under like 10%, who's about to break out soon. So definitely keep on the watch. But these three players, I think they're pretty safe waiver wire pickups, and they should be pretty good to go for the rest of the season, or at least going into the playoffs. So make sure you scoop them up.